Hello, gamers. Welcome in. We got a Titan Quest patch today, boys. This is the first minor update for Titan Quest 2 in early access. Hello, everyone, to our first minor update for Titan Quest 2. In past hotfixes, we already addressed some of the more pressing issues like potential crashes. With this update, we also make minor changes to systems, quality of life topics, and of course, balancing. Balancing high-level notes. Our goal for balance in this update is to address some build options that trivialize the game to a degree that we hadn't intended. In our general approach to weakening things is never to over-nerf abilities. Abilities should still be fun and do what they promise. We just want to bring them in line more with what is intended. With any changes we make, we will monitor how they impact gameplay and then reevaluate them for future updates. I can smell ice shards nerf. Everybody hide your ice shards. This major topic we wanted to address in regards to balancing this patch are this is pre-read ice shards. You all knew this one was coming. Many of you are aware this ability overperformed slightly, air quotes, slightly. Main goal is to ensure the ability can't do it all without much drawback anymore. In addition, we've changed chaos modifiers so that it can be more useful on its own. Overload, this is another mechanic I wanted to be addressed. We found that drawbacks of high amounts of overload were too easily to mitigate completely, meaning a very high overload should now require more build and gear investment. Good. Bleed ailment fix. We are fixing a bug that caused the bleed ailment to potentially cause rupture on application in combination with the amount of rupture damage not being correctly reduced on bosses. This has also been fixed. This caused some builds to wreck bosses' HP bars. Yeah, good. Nerf rogue, gut it. Smaller changes targeting one-shot builds. We made several smaller changes to abilities that are aimed at making it less easy to almost one-shot bosses. Good nerf rogue. Okay, here's further details, boys. There's itemizations, there's affix tiers. This is a really good paragraph here. We'll get to that in a second, though. A lot of feedback mentioned itemization as being not exciting enough. We will make more changes here in the future, but with this update, we already wanted to start with some first steps. Very good. I know they have lots of content planned, and here's some of the roadmap that they're laying. Some item affixes scaled based on item level. Okay, if you got HP on a chest piece, it would scale with the quality of the gear instead of tiered affixes. This meant that they were very gradual increase in power from item, which result in very unexciting moments of swapping an item out due to 1 to 2% increase. Yeah, exactly. We want to change these affixes to use tiers, like some already do. Yeah, there are tiered affixes already in Titan Quest, obviously in Titan Quest 1, but also in Titan Quest 2. This means that while your items might stay optimal for some more levels, the increase in power for when you do find one in the next tier will be more noticeable and thus more exciting. Yeah, think of like tier 1 HP stopping at 100 hit points. Tier 2 HP starts right at 250 hit points, something like that. That's a huge increase rather than just, scaling with the power of the weapon or the item. In order to enhance the effects of this change, we have also increased the amount of tiers these affixes have to create a smooth but motivating item progression. Good. So instead of like 3 tiers, there's 6, right? And there's more granularity in between them. Due to time constraints, we only have implemented these changes for 2 important affixes: health and increased flat damage increases. Good. Okay. We will roll this change out for all other affixes with future updates. Very good. Yeah, so they're just laying the groundwork with health and increases on flat damage. One of the hard damage types to get was like lightning in the game currently, and hopefully that now that there's tiers, we'll be able to see a lot more of that stuff. Unique weapon damage. We noticed that some unique weapons were lacking in damage when compared to magic or rare weapons. To bring them in line with damage expectations, we added flat damage affixes to these unique weapons. Good. Okay, so some unique weapons were kind of just weak. Hopefully we'll go over the items at the bottom, I think. There's a new gamepad control preset. I haven't checked that out. I haven't played with gamepad at all on Titan Quest 2. Maybe we'll definitely check this out. There's default, there's an alternate, and then there's an experimental wave for potion use. Create more buttons, that kind of stuff. So very cool for controller users. Very, very cool. Hopefully this game's even more cozy now. General combat dialogues and other interactions are now only canceled on damage taken, not when in combat. I wonder if Overload will still kick you out of dialogues. We'll have to see. Interactions with destructibles. Where's my left click on pots, boys? They will no longer trigger the in combat state. Good. Fixed outline calculation for box shaped destructibles approaches should now work properly when attacking them. Good. Fixed previous target for keep. I haven't really experienced with this keep target for repeated casts. I haven't tested this on or off kind of stuff, but looks like they're fixing things. Also, biggest look. Okay, they're nerfing ice shards. Hell yeah! But the biggest update ever. Portal is now usable directly when combat ends, not after a delay of a few seconds. Big win, boys. Okay, so where's the Masteries? Masteries. Fixed an issue where ability modifiers do not unslot automatically when the modifier they required itself. So this is like quality of life stuff. When you're like respecking, the modifiers kind of just bugged out sometimes. All characters having access to some tier 4 mechanics: chill, causing freeze, bleed, causing rupture. Little strange there. Not sure exactly what that means. Rupture increases damage 10%, max HP to 30%, and fixed higher tier enemies not taking reduced damage from rupture. Yeah, so this last bit here, higher tier enemies are supposed to take less damage from rupture, and they weren't. So that's what some of the one-shot builds were like, just really taking advantage of. Flame Volley Orbit was firing every 1.5 seconds, or it was firing 1 second. Now it's supposed to fire every 1.5 seconds. So Flame Volley, in my opinion, Orbit's nice passive damage. It was OP before as passive damage. Now it's kind of just very passive. It's better to probably not use Orbit. Generally speaking. Ring of Flame Weakened Heat. This is the RR for fire and armor. It was being applied faster than intended. Rolling Magma Overload now refunds energy over 1 second instead of instantly. That'll be like a subtle change, I would assume. Maybe it'll be a bit more impactful at higher levels. Rogue's Vanish Flash Powder. Equipping the modifier no longer causes the cooldown to be longer than expected. Lol, just a bug. Storm Cyclone Personal Storm modifier fixed VFX stutter. I don't know if I noticed this, but very nice catch. Ice Shards homing projectiles now start homing after traveling 1 meter. Yeah, they used to home immediately. So they have to travel at least 1 meter first. That's nice. Just very small change. There's more nerfs later. There's more changes later. We got to get to it. For boss fights, Aristomenes, reduced loot. Good. He does not have reduced loot anymore. You kill him the first time during the campaign, he gives you quest reward, XP and loot, and then his kill loot is granted to you. So they fixed when you do the ritual, the resummoning, he no longer has reduced loot. Hippocampus fixed a wave not being used while targeting in melee. Very good. This is the last boss. I don't know how to say this guy's name. Dyspilogos. Nailed it. Fixed summoned skeleton's ability not being used during the Ritual of Ares fight. So when you resummon him, he previously did not summon his skeletons. Only during the campaign kill he would summon his skeletons. Very cool. Here's some general item changes. Flat bonuses to health, damage, and health regen now scale with tiers instead of item levels. That's what they mentioned before. Vendors, this is a really big one. Vendors now offer a return window for items. when you sell things, there's like a buyback tab. If you bought an item by mistake, you can return it for full price. Offer only valid until leaving the shop, does not apply to mysterious items. So like if you get Giga items from the gambler, you can't refund it. Or at least that's what I think it means. Slightly increased the allowed pickup range for items in order to prevent NPCs or other minor obstacles from making them unreachable. Lol. Editor, insert clip about my ring. Fixed a bug that could cause items to look different during drag and drop. So yeah, I've noticed a lot of like itemization, like rendering bugs. Hopefully they're catching them all. That seems pretty nice. Fixed a bugs that could cause item icons to be mismatched. Yeah, this is what I've noticed the most. The mismatch icons, like a shoulder is a pair of pants, you know, that kind of thing. So it said it happens particularly often for quest items. Fixed nav mesh being able to be generated on top of trapdoors, which potentially allowed items to be dropped on the top of the item and subsequently become unreachable once the trapdoor was opened. Lol, that's hilarious. People just want their loot. Bandit monster infrequent, reduced added base crit implicit value. So this one had crit value as an implicit, so they reduced it. Not sure what from what to what. Reduce maximum ailment stack bonuses on uniques. Interesting. We'll have to look at that. Here's some key changes to specific uniques. Catharsis added affix plus flat lightning damage. Moonclaw energy gain is now 30 instead of 5%. Depending on your build, this is a buff versus a nerf. If you're stacking energy, this is a nerf. If you're not stacking energy, this is kind of a buff. It kind of depends. It's a nice balance thing. Moonclaw is still OP, so feels good. This also, actually, okay, never mind. It's a nerf. Now it has a 3-second cooldown to get your energy return. It's just a nerf. Get wrecked, Moonclaw enjoyers. Hell yeah. Let me taste your tears. Trigon's Tail, removed affix flat poison damage, remove affix flat pierce damage, added affix flat cold damage. So they're moving it away from like an agility kind of piece to a cold damage piece. Interesting. Soul Carver removed percent increase attack speed, and they added percent increase vitality damage. Ooh, interesting. Actually, okay, obviously that makes sense. Soul Carver seems vit based in my mind. Feels bad maybe to remove the attack speed, but the percent vitality damage is pretty nice. Silence, they removed the affix regeneration per second. This was a flat number, by the way. And then they added flat weapon lightning damage. Very nice. Canis' sword, they removed 3% base crit hit chance, and they added just flat strike damage. Feels bad. Crit enjoyers, it feels bad. They added flat cold damage to Krakinos. Let's see, Shadow Sting. They added flat vitality, and they added bonus damage to undead, flat damage to undead. Very cool. Raging Bull added flat strike damage. Megalos added flat lightning damage. Harpy added fire damage, flat fire damage. Rim Scythe added flat cold damage. Yeah, this is like some big tuning here. Phodia, they removed percent XP ailment they removed percent increased ailment power, and they just added flat fire damage. I don't think I played with this one too much. Thyrsus, they added percent increased cast speed. Very nice. That's a good addition. Yeah, most of these are really nice tweaks. Some of them are nerfs, but a lot of them are just straight up buffs. That's good. Gamepad, they changed energy potion gamepad input to right bumper to mirror the health potion mapping on left bumper. Okay, so this is like default gamepad stuff. Added setting to choose gamepad icons automatic Xbox or PlayStation. Very cool. Nice. Even more gamepad support. Might have to check that out. Seems pretty cool so far. This is a UI section. Added fallback fonts for acrylic, CJK. I don't know what this is. Arabic, Greek, and this one. So you now enter player and caravan inventory name with non-Latin characters. Ah, okay. So just this is multilingual support. Very good. Fix not being able to quickly check map while running when using left mouse but context sensitive input preset. Not being able to check map while running. Oh, so you check the map and then you stop running. Yeah. Okay. Enemy health bars. Health in the UI now drains with a more dynamic animation and a flash on impact. Rapid consecutive hits stack the trailing effect before I lost my place. Rapid consecutive hits stack the trailing effect before interpolating down. Okay. They added a hide UI input. It's F10 by default. Oh, yo, where's my screenshot takers? Yo, listen, when it's time for screenshots, F10 is the way, boys. Very cool. That's a really nice addition there. Added more randomized idle animations for NPCs. Yo, good job, animators. Hell yeah. Let's see. Here's a performance section. Not very big. We'd like to see more. However, they updated FSR to version 3.14. That sounds like a nice pie. Added support for AMD anti-lag 2. This is reduced latency. What's it called? Reflex on NVIDIA. It's that same kind of thing. Hopefully this stuff will help. Save games will now be written asynchronously to reduce hitches during saving. I don't know if I've noticed that, but hopefully that fixes stuff for people. Fix several VFXs which were never properly removed after playing, slowly degrading performance in extended play sessions. Okay, this is big because long play sessions, as it says, it doesn't matter what rig you have, the performance just gets worse and worse and worse, and it seems like a memory leak, but I guess according to this fix, there are visual effects. They were never properly removed. I don't know. Programmers might call it trash collection or, that sort of thing. But anyways, very, very nice. Hopefully this will actually improve your 10-hour farming session at Aristomenes. Happy Skelly grinding. Okay, miscellaneous fixes. The codex, they fixed the chat. Yo, this is a big one, my boys. This is the in-game achievements. They fixed the chapter completion not triggering for Flooded Farmlands chapter. Existing characters will update the codex once you load into them. Very good. If you've completed the campaign that's available, you will now get the chapter completion and your codex. Very cool. Fix an issue that can cause inventory character preview to grow uncontrollably at high resolutions, eventually causing the game to crash. Dude, I'd love to see this. I'd love to see this. Well, they fixed it. It's gone. Fix an issue that could cause items to be dropped in an unreachable position if they dropped while the player is not in the nav mesh. Okay, they mentioned something like this earlier, so even more nav mesh stealing our loot. It's been fixed. Very, very cool. So here is the big meat and potatoes of the patch. I know we got through most of this already, but this is the core. This is the ability balancing section. First up, we have core. So the very first section of this core ability, they increase the rate at which raw skill damage and monster health scale to reduce the impact of weapon bonus damage and to offset the new increase in bonus damage on affixes. Approximately 25% more raw skill damage and monster health at level 20. So this is a lot to kind of digest, but basically what they're saying, when you played with core skills like primary attack before, you had to have a really good weapon in order for it to feel good. Basically what's happening is they're increasing a little bit more raw skill. Also, health of monsters go up a little bit too, but still, it's a net positive for core enjoyers. Celerity, it's now 1 second. for the cooldown, instead of a half, 1.5, right? It's 1 second steps at all ranks. It was 15, 30, and 45. You see a 5% nerf on the second 2 tiers. It's the dash attack critical hit chance. It's the increase got nerfed from 50 to 20, 100 to 40, 150 to 60. Ooh. That's a big nerf. Very nice nerf, though. I'm for nerfs. More nerfs, please. Dash attack, reduced damage increase. Same deal here. 5%. 10% here and 15% here. Nice nerfs. Very nice nerfs. Overload increase self damage 1%, max HP. Now it's 1.5%. You used to take 1% of your max HP as lightning and fire damage. Now it's 1.5% HP. Very good. More nerfs. Overload is still very powerful. You want to be hurting yourself to balance things out a little bit more. Same thing. Overload recovers 5 energy per cleansed overload over 1 second. This is over 1 second. It used to be instantly. Flame volley enhance amplify removed additional required energy spending per amplify. You do not need to spend more energy. That's kind of good for non-energy stacking builds. Very nice. Kind of a buff there, actually. Quite a nice buff for usability. Flame volley orbit adjust amplify loss interval 1.5 seconds, 2.5, 3 seconds. Now it's just one. Wait, what is that? 1 in 3 seconds. Is that what I'm seeing? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Earth, the flame volley. We're still on the flame volley. Orbit increased capacity cost per rank 1. It was 1. Now it's 2. Very nice. The orbit maximum rank it used to be 5. Now it's 2. Very good. I still really like flame volley a lot. Ignite, the resistant reduction. They reduced the resistant reduction. It used to be 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. Now it's 4, 8, 12, 16, and 20. So at the high end, it's basically a 5% nerf. The remove duration increase is now, wait. We'll have to, oh, I see. So we'll have to see this in game, but I'm pretty sure it was, you could increase the duration. Now you cannot do that. Ring of Flame, increase maximum rank. It used to be 3. Now it's rank 5, and the max rank is 5. Reduce energy reservation increased from 10, 20, and 30. Now it's 5, 10, 15, 20. So, right, there was 3 ranks before. Now there's 5. Ring of Flame, Blazing Heat, reduced distance space damage increase. It used to be 60, 90, 120. Now it's 25, 50, 75, 125, right? So it's slight buff because more ranks. Very nice. Ring of Flame, Enhanced Amplify, reduced energy reservation increase with permanency. It was 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Now it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, right? So very nice change there. Ring of Flame, Enhanced Amplify, removed additional required energy spending per amplify. You can't do this anymore. Can't do this anymore. Earth Ring of Flame, Overload, reduced damage increase per overload. It used to be 2 force and 6%. Now the max is 3%. That's a straight up 50% nerf. Overload got nerfed, gutted. Weaken Heat, reduced resistance reduction 4, 6, and 8. Now it's basically doubled, more than doubled. Let's see. Wait. The Weakened Heat has been changed from maximum of 12, 18, and 24. Now it's been nerfed. They cut it in half, almost in half. 6, 12, and 18% is the new max. These are the new ranges here: 2, 4, and 6, up to 4, 6, 12, and 18. It's still really worth taking. Honestly, the Weakened Heat, any sort of RR is just busted. Let's see, Ring of Flame, reduce damage increase per amplified 20% to 15%. Ring of Flame, reduce base damage per second 4 to 3.5. Oof, Ring of Flame is hurting, boys. Preparation, this is weapon coding. Reduce poison weapon bonus damage by 60%. Oof. Let's see, Vanish, Deadly Strikes. The damage increase was 20, 40, 60, 80, and 100%. Now it's 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60. No longer is it at 100% increase. Sheesh. Good. More rogue nerfs, please. Lifesteal, the bonus vitality damage, use the wrong formula and scaling faster than intended. Okay. They said that before as well. Vanish, the vitality weapon bonus damage by 75%. Sheesh. That's a big reduction. Ice shards. This is chaos. Increased capacity costs per rank 1, right? So it costs 2 capacity to get chaos. That's a really good change. The homing should be changed too. Yeah, here it is. Here's the real change. Chaos also increases energy cost. That's really, really good. It goes to plus 20. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Ice Shards Chaos now grants 100% more projectile instead of 4, 8, and 12 additional projectiles. So this is a projectile modifier, no longer a duplicator, right? It doesn't just add projectiles. It will increase projectiles by a percentage. So what's the other one that scales projectiles? I think it's... Torrent. Torrent is the only one that adds flat projectiles now. So very nice. Very, very nice change, honestly. Projectiles now spiral outwards instead of flying straight to hitting enemies easier without homing. Okay, very good. Chaos reduce maximum rank. There's only 1 rank. Is that what I'm understanding? Holy smokes. We'll have to get in there and check that out. The Ice Shards homing, adjusting homing strength, but it used to be 80, 100, and 120. Now it's only plus 100. The cap is 100. Sheesh. Homing, adjusting projectile speed reduction, 20, 30, and 40. Now it's just 30%. Homing, the capacity cost. Oh, yeah, dude. Just they're hammering Ice Shards. 3 per rank. Holy. There's only 1 rank of homing in Ice Shards anymore. Holy smokes. Homing, remove projectile range, increase. There's no more increase in range. Infused charge, reduction bonus, cold damage from energy reservation by 50%. So I never really even played the reduce bonus because you just didn't need to, but that's also been nerfed. Holy smokes. Orbit, adjusted energy costs increased 10, 15, 20 to just plus 20. Projectile range increase 0, 50, and 100% to just 100%. Capacity costs 1 to 2 per rank. Holy smokes. Maximum ranks 3 to 1. Oh my god, for Orbit. Holy smokes. Projectile pen increased capacity costs from 1 to 2. Very nice changes. Like they gutted Ice Shards. So we'll have to test it out, see if it's still worth using. I'm sure it is, but it's just not going to be able to delete everything. Ice Shards projectile penetration increased 20% less damage per penetrated target, and now there's 50%. Oh my god. It sounds like it only does it once. Maybe I'm misunderstanding, but yeah, it used to be 20 less damage per penetrated target. Now it's just 50 less. Holy smokes. So projectile pen, remove the energy cost, increase +1. So, okay, so it doesn't, so Ice Shard's projectile pen doesn't increase energy, but all the other bits do increase the energy. So that's pretty good. Remove projectile speed increase for pen. Ice Shards, the base, reduce base damage 5 to 7. Okay, even that's a small change. Holy crap. Let's see. Oh, now we're on to the overcharge. This is the passive stuff. Duration, reduce overload damage reduction from 40 to 15%. Holy smokes. They really do not want you to just keep your overload stacks. Let's see, the overload duration increase from 100 to 50%. Holy smokes. Yeah, they do not want you to keep your overload. Let's see. The overcharge passive energy feat, instead of instantly recovering 3 energy on cleanse, you now recover it over 1 second. Yeah, that was mentioned before. Warfare leap, the cooldown charge reduction increase +3 in 6 seconds. Now it's 1 second all ranks. That's a really good change. Because what can you have? 3 leaps, and now it's 3 additional cooldown seconds, added to the base. That's way better than +3 and then +6. Way better. It's the seismic leak increase the launch damage 4, 6, and 8 to 10, 12, and 14. That's a big increase as well. Slam attack increase weapon damage 160 to 210. Holy smokes. Very nice buff there. Leap also gets base damage increased from 15 to 20. So yeah, leap sounds really strong. The Valor from the Vitality Drain reduced bonus Vitality weapon damage by 75%. Yo, they're hitting the Vitality stuff. But they did add flat Vitality on some unique weapons though, so it's not all bad news for Vitality enjoyers. Here is the last section. The items, the Bandit, Monster, and Frequent, they reduce the base crit implicit value. Moonclaw now gains +30 instead of 5% energy, and it also has a 3-second cooldown. Yeah, they mentioned this before. Item affixes flat bonuses to health, damage, and health regen now scale with tiers instead of item levels. And then finally, items reduced maximum ailment stack bonuses on unique items. Overall, yo, basically get wrecked ice shards. There's some mediocre, intermediate to pretty heavy nerfs to Ring of Flame. Some core ability enjoyers, you guys rejoice. The core abilities should be a lot better. There's a lot of quality of life fixes to the codex, some performance changes, some hidden features like hiding the UI, taking screenshots, some gamepad features. Very nice patch so far. Very, very massive. Requires lots of testing. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I will leave a link to this in the video description. Happy Titan questing. More patches soon, boys. In the future, we'll have another content update to look forward to. We have many more patches like this to come. Hopefully some more hot fixes and some performance improvements. Keep it up. This is a great patch. Can't wait to get in there and start slaying. Nice to see you guys. Have a good one. Bye.